All right, we'll get started. We'll get started sitting. We'll move around a little bit, then do some breath work is the current plan. But get comfortable, whether you're sitting on the floor, sitting in a chair, cross-legged, kneeling. Any position where your spine can be tall and you can take a huge breath in. And we'll sigh these first couple breaths out, let it go. Again, big breath in. And out. Continue to clear, inhale. Audible exhale. Add a little shoulder movement, big breath in, shoulders to ears. Exhale, massage the shoulders down your back. Take 2 more rolls like that. If you're not drying out, continue to breathe out through the mouth or leave the lips closed and make a humming sound. Especially in this energetic region, vibrating your voice into your tissues to release the tension. Next time you shrug shoulders up to ears, we'll keep them there for a moment. As if lifting your shoulders and you're lengthening your whole spine up, root down through pubic bone, tailbone. Then make space between vertebra, getting taller. And if your shoulders, neck are healthy, on the next exhale, maybe you drop the shoulders. Though most of us protect our necks, do it with control. And if you did a shoulder drop and that was effective, do up to 3 more. Any finishing shoulder rolls or being still with the breath, also welcome. Feel for the space you've already created. The internal movement you've awakened. We'll stretch our legs out. Take a moment to give them a shake or a massage. Get the blood running through all the lower joints, hips, knees, ankles, feet, toes. We'll switch the legs out a little bit. Windshield wide. Start with your feet on the floor, maybe as wide as your yoga mat. Hands behind you to support you. If you prefer to get off your hands, you can come down onto elbows or even lie down. Get comfy. Inhale. If you're sitting, lift your chest. Exhale, tip your knees over to one side. Inhale, lift back to center. Exhale, drop to the other side. Continue on your own breath rhythm. Using breath and rhythmic movement to create space in the lower body and its joints. You can add the hum here too. In chakra speak, there's a tangible connection between 2nd chakra, 5th chakra, the hips, and the neck throat. So if you sigh or make some sounds, release your tongue, you might feel things release around the hip joints. We'll keep going a few more breaths. If your movement's starting to grow like mine, it will walk your hips forward. Bring your hands forward to keep up, or crab walk your way back and reset. Your movement might not grow. You might actually become stiller as you feel and breathe into the hips, tracking internal shifts. And after this next round or two, you'll find your way back to an upright seat. Let's extend the legs out again. Again, you can give them a swish or a shake, a rub or a tap. We'll come into an open twist, bending your right knee, foot on the floor. Your choice whether the left leg stays extended, foot flexed. Foot flexed just as a guide, make sure all 5 toes stay pointing at the sky. They tend to roll out. Or if you prefer to tuck your left foot behind your right heel, do that. Open twist, right elbow to the inside of right thigh. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, look over left shoulder. Looking over shoulder if that feels like a sweet stretch for neck. If it creates tension, don't do that. Gaze any other direction. In this open shape, there's not a lot of room to twist, but they're making space to lift with the inhale breath. Fine if your right hip rolls off the earth, especially if your knee bent, you can lower the left knee down if your low back is happy about that. If you did tip onto left hip, pull your right hip back to pull you back to center. Left hand or elbow to the right knee, twisting into the right thigh. Actually, first, put your hand on your knee. Lean back away from your right thigh, walk your right hand away from you, make a lot of space, and then spiral to the right, look over right shoulder. Again, if that's sweetness for your neck. Inhale, lift all the ribs, the side ribs, the back ribs and front ribs off your pelvis. And you can stay here for the last couple breaths. Or after you breathe some space between the ribcage pelvis, walk your spine back to upright, hugging your abdomen into your right thigh. Release the twist. Straighten your legs out. Set up side number 2, left foot on the floor. If it's an option to mirror what you did on the first side, then take the mirror image pose. Sometimes our hips and knees, there's an issue or an injury going on. Don't force through an injury for the sake of the aesthetic. It's not worth it. Left elbow inside thigh. Inhale, lift your heart, maybe even lift left hip. If you're rolling to the right, that's fine. Exhale, spiral to the right. Take one more breath here. Exhale, pull your left sitting bone down to pull you back to center. Bring right hand to your left knee. For the closed twist, I would like you to keep both sit bones balanced on the earth. Lean back away from left thigh. Walk your left hand out so you're spiraling back and looking over left shoulder. And maybe this spacious expression of closed twist is what your body needs. Stay here. Or breathe space between the joints and then feel for keeping that space as you bring your spine upright, plugging pubic bone down, lengthening back of neck, crown of head straight up. Unwind. All right, let's do a little pranayama breath work. So either come into a comfortable seat where you can be relatively externally still while you focus on breath. If you prefer to lie down, both of these exercises, well, I guess all 3 of these exercises work perfectly fine lying down. You might even lie with a blanket or a pillow under your head so you have a little bit of a throat lock. Chin in. For a simple ujjayi breathing, inhaling nose. And if your nose is clear, exhaling nose, adding a soft whisper sound. This is an experienced group, so I won't go through the instructions for making the whisper, but small group, unmute yourself if you would like the details. Notice where in your body you notice the ujjayi the most. Is that contraction at your throat? Or is there movement at chest or belly? Wherever it's obvious and easy for you to increase the inhale, take the next 3 focus breaths into that area, feeling for expanding as you breathe in. Softening as you complete the exhale. Transitioning into Durga Pranayam. Shift your attention down to your low abdomen. You can rest your hands there if that helps. Start to grow your inhale down in low belly. Relax the belly so it expands with the inhale. At the end of the exhale, draw the low abdominals in without tightening. Once you've got a feel for the low belly starting to move with your breath, we'll add the 3-part breath. Breathe into low belly. When low belly feels relatively full, breathe up into the chest. The belly might drop in a little bit as the chest rises. Then exhale. Everything draws back to spine. Inhale down into low belly. Continue your inhale up into the heart. Exhale. If you're sitting, lengthen the spine. Like a wave moving through the body. Inhale, filling low, cresting high, and rolling back out. Take 3 more breaths just like that. And just notice if you like the energy of that breath, you can incorporate that when we move into the asanas, the physical postures. Before we do that, we'll do 1 more pranayam, Viloma stage 1. Change the cross of your legs if you're sitting cross-legged. Adjust the way you're sitting all together if you're no longer or you're getting fidgety. So Viloma, similar rhythm to the Durga breath. We'll inhale for a count of 5 in 5 little sips. So you'll take a sip and pause, sip and pause. 5 breaths. We'll hold the breath for 5 beats and then slow ujjayi exhale. Again, experience groups. So you guys might know bandhas. If you like, every time you're holding the breath, you can engage your mula bandha and your throat. Well, keep the throat lock. Engage mula bandha. Release it whenever you're breathing in or out. If that's too much detail, well, we'll just start with the breathing. All right, wherever you are in your breath, exhale out. We'll start our 5 little sips in. Take a sip and pause. Sip and pause. Sip, pause, sip, pause, sip, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ujjayi exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, sip in, pause, in, pause, in, to hold. Slow ujjayi exhale. Again, sip in, pause, sip in, maybe mula bandha, sip in, mula bandha, sip in, Mula Bandh, sip in, Mula Bandh, sip in to hold. Hold your Mula Bandh if that's part of your practice. And then release the bandha to exhale Ujjayi. Take 3 more rounds like that on your own. 5 sips in, hold the breath, slow exhale. When you complete your 3rd round, just resume your Ujjayi or natural breath, continuous. Notice how you feel. And if you are lying down for your pranayam, ease your way up to sitting. We'll do a side bend arm exercise. So Baddha Konasana is a comfortable seat for you to sit up tall, and you can come into Baddha Kone. Otherwise, cross-legged seat or any comfortable seat, including sitting in a chair, as long as you have something you can put a hand on. Well, you can hold on to the side of the chair. If you're on the floor, reach your fingertips out to the side. Inhale, lift the back ribs up, lengthen back of spine. Exhale, walk your right fingertips out, lean on your right hand. Draw the right elbow in towards your ribs to help drag your right shoulder down. Hover the left hand over the earth, palm faces earth. Breathe in and start to raise the left arm. Raising it to shoulder height, spin the palm open, same direction as your chest. If it's right for your shoulder, continue to raise it up to the sky, turning palm to sky. Exhale, come down the way you came up, lowering, palm same direction as chest, and eventually palm hovers off the earth. Up and down 3 more times like that. If that rotation feels okay to your shoulder, inhale, external rotation as it raises. Exhale, lower. Release your neck towards the right shoulder. You can angle the chin any direction. That gives your neck freedom. You can focus on the left arm. And next time your left arm is lowering, reaching through the left fingertips to pull you off the right hand. You might use your right hand to prop your head back up if your neck is released. Other side, inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, walk your left fingertips out to the side. Lean on the left palm. Reach right arm to the right. And then release the head away from your energized fingertips. A bonus neck release here. Inhale, raise the right hand. Level the chest, palm turns open. If it starts to reach for the sky, turn palm to sky. Exhale, reverse, lowering and spinning the thumb forward until palms hovering off earth. 3 more times like that. If your movement in your shoulders is restricted, you can take much smaller movement and or much slower movement, a few breaths. So if you get those repetitive pops, Maybe you slow through so they stop popping and grinding. And when your right hand lowers, reach through the right fingertips to help pull you back to center. Maybe the next day's release in your left hand puts it back on top of spine. Straighten your legs out. Again, give them any swishes, taps, or rubs that they want. If you have a strap, find your strap. If you don't, we'll have a modification without it. Come into a Janushirasana type seat. Left leg extended, right knee open. Preparing for forward fold motions. So that means you want to sit up on something like a blanket or bolster. And if you are sitting up high, you'll probably want to prop something, also under your knee so it's not hyperextended. If you have the strap, hook it around your left foot. Also, your right knee might not flop open like this. If it's propped up, you might want to even prop something underneath your thigh so your hip flexors can relax. All right, simplest expression of this motion. Left knee, again, stays as bent as needed to protect your hamstrings and your low back. Pull on the straps, get tall. Inhale, lift the rib cage up, lift your chest up, ease your shoulders back. Pull your belly in on exhale to pull yourself forward. It might be tiny movements with big breath. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. If it's right, pull back on your foot. Exhale, pull belly in as you bow. So of course you can do that without the straps. If you have a strap, you might want to grow the movement. Inhale, pull on your foot so your knee bends. Keep lifting your ribs off your hips. Exhale, press foot into strap to pull you forward. We'll do this for about 4 to 6 more breaths. I'm going to offer just the simple variation. Some of you done the rock and roll variation with me. If your body goes there organically, go for it. And over the next couple of breaths, settle into a place that you're willing to stay relatively still, staying with your smooth breath and feeling into your body. So that might be the forward folded variation. You may choose to stay upright, flexing foot, which is technically a forward fold. Or you can lie on your back. This is the same pose. All right, I'll get quiet so you can breathe and go inside for a couple more breaths. If you came pretty low in your forward fold, I really want you to connect to your abdominals. Plug the tailbone back, pull your low belly in, and have that pull the rest of your spine up. Arms help as much as you want. Changing sides. Right foot in the strap. Different leg, different hip. Might want different propping. You can see we're not in a hurry. So if you decide you want to change the shape, support the shape, take your time to do that so you can get at least a couple quality breaths. It's not the quantity. It's that laser point focus, quality of breath that makes this effective. Inhale to pull on the straps. Maybe bend your knee as you lift the heart. Exhale, press foot into straps to pull you forward, pull your belly in. Keep going. Your choice of tiny meditative movement. Or if you start to move into a natural flow, follow it. I say it's quality, not quantity, but I offer quantity. Just in case you have a busy mind like me. Out of these 8 or 10 breaths, maybe I'll pay fully attention to one of them. And that's a win. All right, if you're choosing to settle into a still place on this side, your expression of forward fold might be literally flopped over leg. It might be an upright spine, which is folded, or come onto your back. Continue to track the internal flow of breath. Find the most interesting, loudest sensations. And if you keep your attention with them, watch what they do. Or listen to what information they have for you, what direction. And again, those of you who are deeply folded, plug tail, pull the low belly off your pelvis. Use those low abdominals to pull the rest of the spine up. Head and neck follow. And come on, actually, first, before we come down to back. So you could do this on your back. We'll put both feet into the strap. For Paschimottanasana or Dandasana, you can stay upright and pull back on your feet. You can ease into a forward fold. If you're not using the strap, you can bend your knees and hug into your thighs. Breathe into whole back body, both sides of spine, down to both hips, backs of both legs. If you chose to stay sitting and you're forward folded, again, reach back through tail, pull belly in. Use your hands as much as you need to support your spine coming up and easing you down onto your back. Knees to chest. Rock side to side if that's a nice way for you to settle in onto your back. Add another rhythmic movement here, coming to center. Slide your hands above your knees onto your thighs, just above knees, and inhale, press your knees forward. Exhale, draw the knees back in. You can do this without hands if it's a strain to reach. Inhale to press forward. Exhale, knees in. If you're working with knees together and that feels safe, feel how the knees want to come apart and then keep them together, not with stress. Just use the resistance. For many of our backs, separating the knees as wide as shoulders will make a lot more sense. And separate your feet too. 3 more breaths. Finishing with knees to chest, and then set your feet down on the floor, maybe one at a time. For baby bridge, relax the arms down alongside the body, palms turned up to the sky, so your shoulders are broad and open to your breath. Take a breath up into that line below your collarbone. Exhale, press your feet down, tuck your tailbone to press hips to sky. Inhale, release your hips back onto the floor, release the tuck of tail. Exhale, press feet down, curl sacrum up to ceiling. Couple pulses like that, inhaling down, exhaling up. If there's a breath rhythm that works more efficiently with your body, that's fine. And then either keep going like that, or next time your hips come up, we'll stay for 5 breaths, not your highest bridge, just enough to hover the hips, press the feet down, and with each exhale, grounding through the inner foot, feel for tilting the sacrum forward between your knees, as if your pelvis is starting to draw your spine forward, literally decompressing the spine. Using the strength, the fire of your legs and butt to do that, to heal your low back. There's a lot of gripping in the buttocks, relax that. Sometimes that seems to coordinate with gritting in the teeth. Relax the teeth also. And then re-tilt the pelvis, press your feet down. So butt is working, but it's not creating tension. All right, slowly lower your hips down. If windshield wipe action is a soothing movement for your joints, you are welcome to go back to swishing your knees side to side on exhale. If not, rest the knees together, walk the feet apart, put your hands on your hips, and invite your breath down into low body, low back, low belly and pelvis. Figure 4, pick up your right foot, flex it, hook your ankle over your left thigh. Any and all expressions of this figure 4 hip stretch, back release are welcome. So you can stay like this, press hands into thighs, back traction. You know, many of you like to hug knees in, some of you like to rock. Go for it. Taking that heat you stirred up in the glutes. Use your breath to circulate it. I recommend keeping the right foot or at least the toes flexed as a way to stabilize the knee, but do what works for your body. Change sides. Let's come into banana asana or supine Ardha Chandrasana. Come into Shavasana shape. Lie in the middle of your mat. Then baby step your feet over to the left bottom corner of your mat. And if it feels right to hook the left ankle over the right, do that. Sometimes it doesn't feel right on my hips or low back to hook the ankles. It's fine to just leave them uncrossed. Optional, reach the arms up overhead, maybe hold onto the right wrist with the left hand so your right shoulder can relax. Maybe traction the right arm bones up. Breathe into the opening right side body. Exhale, heavy right hip, heavy right ribs. Option if hooking ankles feels right to switch the cross right over left. Might bring a little more traction down to low spine and hip. Release your wrist. Baby step your feet over to the other corner of mat. Option to hook right ankle on left. Option to grab the left wrist and traction your arm bones up. Relax the left shoulder, ribs down. You can almost imagine the space between your ribs opening with your inhale. And if you sense that crackle pop, it is opening. Option to cross left ankle on right. Generally a deeper stretch, but maybe just a different one. Release your hands back down, walk your feet back to center, pick one leg up at a time to draw knees to chest. Roll into a fetal curve on your left side. Adjust your position to stick your tail out behind you a bit. Reach your arms forward in front of your chest, right hand on left. Inhale, right arm to the ceiling. And exhale, open into your twist. Inhale, back up. Exhale to close, open and close, maybe 2 more times, unless you prefer to hold the twist. Then stay and breathe. When you've returned to your fetal curve on your left side this next time, ease yourself back onto your back. Roll onto your right side. Scoot your tail out behind you. And inhale, left arm to sky. Exhale, open twist. 3 times, or stay. Your choice. The next time you end up in your fetal curve, we'll keep rolling over onto the belly. Fold your hands in front of you to rest your head on your hands, if that's comfortable. If you need any propping, like a folded blanket under hip bones or a pillow underneath head and shoulders, it's fine to be propped here. Quarter boat. Send your breath into the back bottom lungs. Flare your back bottom ribs up off your low back. Exhale, curl pubic bone down into the mat. And keep plugging pubic bone down as you spiral the right thigh bone down away from your hip. It may float off the earth. In that case, activate, spread the toes, put energy in the foot tissues and bones. But if you feel gripping in a buttock, relax that. Reach the right leg back and long. Front of the right thigh might turn in towards the left just a little as it elongates. Almost like you're unscrewing your thigh bone from the hip socket. And then exhale, relax the right leg down. Inhale, fan out the back bottommost ribs. Exhale, curl pubic bone into mat and start to slide left thigh back until maybe it hovers. It might not, but get a sense of it elongating, front of thigh elongating from hip joint. Everything else is relaxed, head and jaw. right leg. Exhale, release the left leg down. Bring arms down alongside the body, backs of hands on the floor, forehead or chin on the mat, little boat lifts. Curl pubic bone down into mat. Inhale, lift your shoulders up and draw them back. Exhale, lower down, forehead or chin. Again, inhale, lift the heart, roll shoulders back. Let the head come up for the ride, but I don't recommend looking up. Exhale, lower down. Though it's not incorrect if you've been taught that way. Inhale, lift shoulders, roll them back. Exhale one more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Turn to look to the right. Rest your left cheek temple on the mat. Separate your feet wider. Let the heels roll out. And do this action very consciously, slowly, because it might pull too much on the neck. Inhale, draw the shoulders up towards your ears. Roll them off the mat. And then slide them down the back. Release your arms. Look to the left. Rest on right cheek. Inhale, shoulders up to ears. Off the mat. And exhale, glide them away from head neck. Place your palms on the mat. Tuck your toes, scoop your belly button in. If this is the right way for you to come up to all fours, use your abdominals. Pull your belly in to press back onto your knees. If there's a safer way for you to come up, one elbow at a time, that's fine. We'll do a lunge hamstring stretch. If you have two blocks or two things to put your hands on, maybe a chair and a couch, anything you can put your hands on, you might want to do that. You might want to pad back knee. If you know lunge is no good for your lower joints, then I recommend coming back down onto your back and doing this variation of lunge, half splits, lunge, half splits, with or without strap. Those of you who've gotten comfortable in your lunges, something underneath your hands or hands on the ground, but not a lot of weight on the hands. Press your feet down. Inhale your chest forward. And exhale, stretch your hips back. Straightish right leg as you fold. 4 more breaths like that. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, stretch back. Keep going at a rhythm that is right for you. And as we change sides, if you chose to go on your back, you might extend both legs up to the sky for a moment in a Paschimottanasana, a double-legged forward fold, variation on your back. Those of you changing sides in lunge, I'll let you choose. Maybe you step back to all fours. Maybe you step forward onto your feet and change sides. I suspect some of you might crave down dog. You can down dog, stretch your spine out like you see your actual pet do. And then reset. Get comfortable in your lunge. Left foot forward. Rocking back and forth on back knees. So make sure back knee is comfortably padded. There is a way you can prop underneath your shin. So you're literally not putting anything on your knee. You have to use a little more core not to rock off your prop. I don't have a problem with that. Inhale. Exhale, stretch it back. Keep going on your own. Next place we're going is to a standing forward fold. If you're on your back, I'll let you breathe your way there in a way that makes sense to you. If you're doing the lunge flow from lunge, you step the right foot up to left, fold over your legs. If folding head below heart does not work for you, then catch your stance. Keep head and heart at the same level, that's fine. Half lift, inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Jackknife. Inhale to a flat back, bring your hands to your waist. You might need to keep the knees bent a lot here and tuck your tail. Put your hands high on your waist if it's okay on your shoulders to touch your ribs. Invite the front ribs back into the belly and then roll the shoulders back. Send elbows to sky. So opening heart but staying connected to core. If this feels safe, you are welcome to spread your wings or super person your arms forward, palms face each other. Weight towards toes if your hamstrings are healthy. Finding your way up to standing, you may put your hands back on your hips, bend your knees a lot to come up. Some of you are feeling strong. Pull your belly in as you inhale up. Exhale to your heart. Half sun salute. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Dive back down or come into your catcher stance if you prefer. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. 2 more like that. Inhale, arms up. Whenever you're forward folding or coming back up, you can bend your knees to protect your back. Exhale, down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale to heart. Once again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Samastiti. Step with the feet 4 feet apart. Thereabouts. Angle the right toes out. Hand exercises. Spread your hands wide. Spread your arms wide. Palms open the same direction as your chest. Take an inhale breath to reach out through your wings. Now articulate 1 finger at a time as you exhale the thumb in, and then wrap your index finger, middle finger, ring fingers, and pinky fingers over your thumbs. Now punch out. Inhale, broaden through the collarbones, through the shoulder blades. And exhale, start to tip your fists down to the floor, stretching through the thumb side of the wrist. Bend your right knee into warrior 2. Inhale, re-straighten your right leg. Spread your hand wide. Press your palms out to the sides, fingers to the sky. This time start at your pinky finger. Exhale, curl down pinky, then ring fingers, middle fingers, index fingers, and thumbs. Punch out. Inhale. Exhale, curl your fist down to the floor. Bend your right knee into warrior 2, stretching out the back side of the wrist. Inhale, straighten your leg. Spread your hands wide. Turn the right toes in, the left toes out. We'll start at pinky finger again. Inhale, exhale, pinky fingers in, and then curl in 1 finger at a time until you have a fist with your thumb on top. Now, like you're holding 2 heavy jugs of water, inhale, reach them out to the sides. Exhale, start to pour water out to the sides. Bend left knee, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten left leg, spread hands, press the palms out, fingers to sky. Start with your thumbs. Exhale, roll the thumb in and then curl a finger at a time over it, articulating. Punch out. Inhale, widen through the chest. Exhale, warrior two, turn your knuckles to the ground, stretching out backside of arm. Inhale, straighten left leg, shake out your hands, turn the left toes in. Heel toe your feet back together. Standing BB with brain cradling. Interlace hands at the base of your skull. So you're holding your head in your palms. Run your thumbs down your neck. Breathe the back ribs up off the low back. Drop the chest down just a little bit so you're lengthening through back of spine. Draw the elbows in towards each other. Triceps into your cheeks. Inhale, reach your elbows straight up to the ceiling. Exhale, relax the head back into your hands. So all the structures of neck and skull can start to release. All the muscles of the face, the tongue soft, the muscles behind your eyes. Keep sending elbows to the sky actively. So even though the heavy head might cause your upper spine to fall backwards, think more of lifting up through the elbows. Press down with your feet, tuck your tail. Hold your floating brain in your hands. Give it all the space and support it needs. And then lovingly use your hands. Bring the skull back forward over the rest of your spine. Utkatasana. Actually, let's do this version of Utkatasana. Sit back in your chair. Option to interlace your hands. Squeeze shoulders back. If that doesn't work, any other Utkatasana is fine. Your belly in. Then come into a low chair, chest towards thighs. Keep sitting your weight back so your knees maybe rock over your heels. Pull your belly in. Exhale, release into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Finding your way back down to our seats. I'll let you decide how to come down. Some of you want to come back into Utkatasana and turn it into a squat. You're welcome to do that. Maybe you set your hands down and lower a knee down at a time. Breathe as you support yourself down to the ground. Square pose, forward fold. Right shin in front of left. If possible, from Sukhasana, bring the feet forward and then over towards the knees a bit. Just kind of squaring off this shape. We'll get into a different place in the hips. Hands forward, release head, neck. In fact, the square shape is almost identical to figure 4 on the back. So if you prefer to return to your back, we'll be heading there next. And come into figure 4. Even in the seated variations, I do recommend pulling the toes back and gently pressing the pinky side of foot into earth to stabilize the lower body joints. Yes, it will uptick the sensation in your hips. That's because it's putting the pose back to targeting the musculature of the hips out of the joints. All right, those of you who came pretty far forward in your fold, root back through tailbone, hug low belly in, and let that pull your spine up. Change the cross of your legs. Figure 4 is on back, change sides. Forward fold, other side. 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 Forward And forward fold can always simply be releasing the neck. And if you're watching, you'll be surprised how much you feel as you release neck jaw tension. Seated forward folds, root tail, pull low belly in, come on up. And head on down to your back into your resting pose. Straightforward Shavasana works for you. You can lie on the floor, legs straight, splayed, arms a few inches away from body, palms up. So take the time if you want to put something under knees or under hips, or even legs up a wall or chair to release low back. Supporting the head, the skull can also help the spine relax. And optional, if you're settling into your still, quiet place, let my voice join the other background sounds of your environment. If you would like, take 3 rounds of breath work in your Shavasana shape, Viloma Pranayama Stage 2. The reverse of how we started, we'll take a slow, full Ujjayi inhale. Pause. And then let the breath leak out in 4 or 5 little sips. Again, slow Ujjayi in. Hold it. 4 or 5 little sips out. One more round like that. Heavier and heavier as the breath leaks out. And in your own space, you might choose to continue to rest and receive once the electronics are turned off. If you have the time and space, stay. If you're ready to arise, start by deepening your breath. Bring movement back at the fingers, at the toes. And gradually grow that movement until you're ready to ease back up to your seat. Yes, you can come back to the clearing breaths you started with. Sigh or hum as you come back up. And those of us who come up will press palms together. Press the thumbs into your sternum to lift your heart. Bow your head to your heart. May we benefit from the fruits of our practice. May the fruits of our practice heal not only us, but ripple out to all beings everywhere. Namaste.